Skylight points of a known 12,000-mile terrestrial sky area, representing 1/2 of the determined Earth's circumference, would have to be considered millions of miles away from the terrestrial dividing line, and from the observing point only 10,000 miles away. Were observation made from the celestial moon point 300,000 miles away from the terrestrial, the most remote terrestrial skylight points from the terrestrial galactic plane would have to be any number of light years away from the observation point. That purely mathematical consideration for a mathematical universe would apply, even though the most remote terrestrial skylight points were actually embraced by the Earth's known circumference of 24,000 miles. These absurd conclusions in application to the terrestrial conform to astronomical conclusions concerning the celestial, and the greatest contributor to that absurdity is the assumed space between all terrestrial skylight points detected from the terrestrial galactic plane to the most distant terrestrial horizons. Though we know the terrestrial sky is as continuous and spaceless as the underlying terrestrial land, the illusory space would be an important factor causing enlargement of distance to an incalculable extent. In conjunction with the terrestrial sky-space illusion, terrestrial skylight gas expansion and contraction and skylight radiation, and the additional illusion it imposes would likewise contribute to an unreal distance pattern corresponding to that astronomically ordered for the celestial. The speed of light through the more realistic medium of infinity's perpetual darkness, as opposed to the speed of light assumed from man's artful but artificial experiments at sea level, is another factor. These, and numerous other purely technical but extremely important elements, are the influencing agents in compilation of astronomical data having no application whatever to the celestial of reality. Their influence extends to the terrestrial and the terrestrial sky's natural manifestations. They too must be misinterpreted through abandonment to the illusory. The celestial and terrestrial comparisons now prove to be of merit as a result of stratosphere ascensions and rocket flights are here afforded timely expression. They show the terrestrial skylight formations and deceptions already encountered in stratosphere photographs. Sphere photographs of luminous terrestrial sky area. Such photographs attest to physical continuity no less than the land extent continuing beyond theories, North Pole and South Pole, ends of the Earth. One feature complements the other, and they jointly contribute to the development of a new and factual portrait of the universe about us. The little publicized radar portrait of a substantial area of the celestial sky also contributes to the universe portrait, and such features collectively establish beyond any doubt that the realistic pattern of the universe is diametrically opposed to that developed by astro-mathematical deductions of the centuries. If one finds it difficult to accept these physical continuity dictums, in spite of physical proofs sustaining them, the following should be considered. In a child's mind may be fixed the deluding features of the fable of the stork. The child lacking knowledge of procreation must cling to that fascinating fable. The fable must prevail if the child's mind is not sufficiently developed to comprehend the meaning of reproduction, with its successive stages of cell transmission, fetus development, etc. The child's mind may even acquire the accepted descriptive of birth. The child may be able to express the word sex, born, baby, growth, etc. It may even witness the moment of a birth. Yet as long as the immature mind is dominated by the image of a long-legged bird delivering babies, it may behold 1,000,000 babies and remain in ignorance of how they arrived. That child's mind differs not from the undeveloped adult mind. Though the adult mind certainly knows how babies are delivered, it can remain as closed as the child's mind concerning other features of life and of the universe. That which concept does not hold is beyond the bounds of possibility for both child and adult. As it is with the child's mind, so it is with the astronomer's mind, which causes him to express the words curving, waving, bending, fluctuating, and undulating. They should afford ample knowledge that creative energy at work does not circle, and they should be a key for understanding that globes or spheres do not comprise the celestial or the terrestrial. Yet despite the astronomer's broader observation and deeper calculations of luminous celestial sky gases in motion, he demands that unseen mass bodies be prescribing all motion and the wrong motion. The undeveloped child could be shown realistic pictures of baby delivery, and through domination of the fable, remain ignorant of reality. So it is with the astronomer who, in viewing physical proof at hand of the fallacy of isolated bodies, persists in clinging to the star and planet fable. And he makes every effort to fit proofs culled from a world of reality into his world of illusions. The illusory must be preserved at any cost. It is the astronomer's truth. There is not a feature of telescopic observation and photography and of spectrum analysis considered applicable to the universe about us, which does not apply with equal force and volume to corresponding tests of the Earth's outer luminous sky surface. Yet, modern enterprise has established that such absurd features are purely illusory, and they do not apply. All the fantastic entities assumed to exist throughout luminous celestial sky areas seem to exist in like observation and analysis of the constantly shifting gases of the Earth's sky. And it must never be forgotten that all observations, analysis, and resulting conclusions apply only to the sky gas energy of celestial and terrestrial skylight areas. There is no application whatever to the land under such skylight areas. The cosmic agency which contributes to the many deceptive movements of the least luminous and the most luminous sky areas is responsible for the light shifts, fluctuations, and undulations, and it thereby indirectly governs the resulting grotesque formations so deceiving to the observer. The cosmic agency and creative force beyond astronomy's embrace is cosmic ray activity. It is constantly bombarding every outer sky area of the entire universe. The rays have no directional pattern. They are not restricted to any course or channel, and there's ceaseless movement throughout the infinite realm of darkness, of which our immediate stratosphere is a part. Formed by the master planter, they are strewn from the sun's impenetrable crater in a seeming helter-skelter. And in such apparent non-conformity to pattern, they establish the most profound creative pattern. Moving with immunity to man-made laws applied to the universe, they affiliate with receptive outer sky areas everywhere along the celestial and the terrestrial course. They charge one sky area and supercharge another with their magnetic force. As their force is concentrated on a particular sky area of the celestial or the terrestrial, there's developed within that sky area an unprecedented accentuation of customary motion, which befuddles distant observers. In other sky areas and at the same time, the dispensation of that creative solar energy remains stable and a perfecting balance of the whole universe sky. But concentration of force upon one sky area exerts a measurable influence on neighboring sky areas. Hence, there is produced for the bewitching of mortal mind a unique series of motions within luminous sky areas under observation. But whether such motions are real or fancied, they are always motions of the sky. Whatever are they motions of the realistic land, which, though unseen, is always present under the skylight. Reason dictates that one does not erect a roof unless one is to have a house under the roof. The roof is the protecting medium for all the wood or concrete structure underlying. The roof is symbolic of the structure, and the magnificent but deceptive lights of astronomical observation and record are areas of a creative roof, which cannot be seen as a collective and continuous hall for the reasons explained here. Our terrestrial sky covers our room of the universe house in the same manner as every so-called star and planet covers the endless celestial rooms of the same house. Our sky, in common with all celestial sky, cannot be observed as a connected unit. It likewise presents to distant observers the identical pattern of varying luminosity and motion that we observe of the celestial sky. The astronomer expresses that factual skylight variation of the celestial roof as star magnitude, and that term is synonymous with skylight intensity. That causative activity, of which so little has been learned, performs other wonders implied by the late Dr. Robert Andrews Millikan's memorable announcement: creative life forces at work throughout the entire universe. But the wonders of that force at work are not to be determined by abstract figures and symbols of figures.